Statement that he was released by the team. Assistant Nate McMillan will serve as the team's interim coach. Stephen A., I want to start with you. What is your reaction to the Lloyd Pierce firing in Atlanta?
I'm suspicious and I'm alarmed. I'm happy that Nate McMillan, who's been a head coach in the NBA for 16 years, in Seattle, Portland, Indiana. I'm happy that he's the interim coach. Personally speaking, I'd like to see him get the job permanently. If not, I'd like to see guys like Mike Woodson, who had success as the Atlanta head coach years ago, who's an assistant on the Knicks bench, be considered now. But I will say this. Lloyd Pierce, even though the record is not that impressive, 63 and 120 since being hired in 2018, 20 and 47 last year, to be specific. After starting off the season 10 and 9, they've lost 11 of their last 15. I get it. But for the Atlanta Hawks to take this position now, as opposed to the end of the season, it's got my antennas up. Because Lloyd Pierce has been very outspoken about a lot of things pertaining to social justice issues and things of that nature. He clearly has had the support of the organization, at least it appeared to be that way, with the Atlanta Hawks, because they've been obviously on top of things that was transpiring in Atlanta and throughout our nation. But to fire him now, I just find it a bit odd. I find it a bit suspicious, particularly considering how outspoken Coach Lloyd Pierce has been. And Max, the brother just had the birth of his second child like 5-6 days ago. I'm kind of surprised that something like that would happen. It just seems to me, and then you think about what's happening with the Atlanta Storm, the WNBA team, and, he's outspoken and been very supportive of that. Obviously it all falls under that same umbrella. Maybe he rubbed people the wrong way. This doesn't seem to be purely just the fact that they're struggling right now. It seems to be a little bit something more that went along with this. Yeah. And I'm concerned about it, that he would be fired at this particular moment in time. I don't like it.
Well, I find it interesting that your antenna goes up there. I don't think I think it's reasonable to start asking questions. Yeah. I'll also say, though, that when if you look at what's going on with the Atlanta Hawks, they're trying to build around Trae Young. Mm-hmm. And the way they've done it is to spend a lot of money on good but not great veterans, like guys who are available, who they could reasonably sign, and put a team around him, like guys like Gallinari or Rondo, or like those kind of players. And it doesn't seem to me just to be about veteran leadership around a young core or a young star in Trae Young that will mold the team eventually to be a winner. It seems a little bit mixed up, like they're trying to sort of stay competitive and win now, and they're doing what they can while they're developing Trae Young. But at any rate, those decisions have backfired this year because the record is bad. And when the record is bad, the GM who puts the plan together ain't going to blame himself. Usually what happens is the coach catches it because the GM has the power to do that. Got the power to get rid of the coach, and you ain't going to get rid of yourself. So Schlenk, I believe, in Travis Schlenk, and who's
yep.
Yeah, right, in Atlanta, he ain't going to fire him. He's going to fire the coach. When you're underperforming and your plan was to put out a competitive product while you're seeing what you really have in Trae Young, like what he's capable of in terms of how far he can carry a team.
Mm-hmm. Fellas, I want to get in one more debate here that I think is going to be pretty fun. So 59 years ago today, Wilt Chamberlain set a single-game scoring record, scoring 100 points over the Knicks. So, Max, I'll start with you here. Which current NBA player do you think is the most capable of scoring 100 points in a game?
This is a tough one. This is a tough one because Devin Booker dropped, 70 last year? And his game reminds me the most of Kobe's, actually, in terms of technically what he can do. I'm going to say James Harden. Because James Harden, when you look at usage rate, like how much a dude has the ball in his hands, his main support, teammates who sometimes aren't there, Kyrie's missed for a variety of reasons, Kevin Durant's been hurt, obviously, and that might continue. And the Nets are in a position where Harden will do whatever they need him to do. If they need him to distribute the ball, he'll do that. But if they need him to go bananas scoring, he'll do that too. I remember, Stephen A., when Kobe dropped the 81 against the Raptors, the Lakers needed those 81 points. That's why he scored 81. Not just because, look, I can do this, but because that's what was needed. And James Harden showed he's that kind of player, and the man can score from anywhere on the floor. I think Harden maybe has. I don't think anyone's going to get to 100, but maybe Harden has the best shot.
I hear you. I don't think anybody's going to get to 100 either. But to me, if I'm going to sit up there and say somebody has a chance, it's not only the skill set that they have to finish inside and out, but it's one with the assassin's mentality that would have the mindset that that's exactly what I want to do. You know, to think about a Wilt Chamberlain, to think about a Kobe Bryant. It's got to be somebody that says, I want to put on that kind of show. And here I come, and I'm coming to make history, and I'm coming to annihilate you. I'm coming to dance on you and do everything that I can to take your heart right out of your chest. And the name that comes to my mind is capable of doing that is Kyrie Irving. If Kyrie Irving gets on a tear, if you're talking about somebody that can get 81 like Kobe had it, or score 100 points someday in a game, where everything they put up just goes in, from inside, from outside, and they just demoralize you because they're embarrassing you and dancing on you, not just hitting jump shots, not just shooting from threes, but everything they put up, acrobatically and otherwise, they just have it. Kyrie's that kind of guy, man. Kyrie's that kind of guy. We might have questions about where his head is at sometimes or whatever the case may be, because he got deeper things on his mind than basketball, clearly. But in the end, when you look at this brother's skills, he's a showstopper. And if there's somebody that could put in 100 points or 81 points like Kobe did, like literally just went on a tear and you just watched in awe as this brother put on a show, it's that dude right there. It's Kyrie Irving. That's the name that comes. Of course, I throw Steph in the equation because it's three-point marksmanship, but I certainly would throw Kyrie Irving in there. Yes.
I'll throw this at you, Stephen A. So we asked everyone at home the same question, and they had Steph Curry as the number one, followed by James Harden, then LeBron, and then Kyrie. Are you surprised? Our first take fam said Steph.
Who did you have number three? I heard Steph Curry. You said Steph Curry. Who was the list?
Steph, James Harden, Kyrie, and then no. Steph, James Harden, LeBron, Kyrie.
Not LeBron. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. LeBron's not that dude.
Okay.
He's not. He doesn't want. He's not after something like that. He's not the kind of guy that would get 50 and go like this. I could get 60. I could get 70. He wanted to play the right way. That's him. He's not the kind of guy that says, hell with this. I'm going to put on this show and I'm going to make history right now. That's not who he is. Kyrie is like that. Kyrie is like that. That's why I say Kyrie.
All right. All I have to say is thank God you never went to the NBA, because we know you would be that guy, Stephen A.
Hell yeah.
You would be that guy.
I wasn't good enough.
Look at you.
If I was, trust me, I would.
Joe Montana is with us tomorrow.